I'm a 68 whiskey combat medic. I chose this MOS as far as like military, like colleges. You could go to pretty much anyone you want to go to, any college pretty much. Because
tell me a little bit more details about GI Bill.
Like 80% is 24 months total, 70% is 18 months total.
What do you personally think about immigrants in the army?
Всем привет, это Рud&Co.
Hello everybody, guys, my name is Rud&Co. I'm currently United States Army soldier. Also, I'm an immigrant, that's why I have this interesting Russian accent. So, on my channel, I like talk about others, army, military things, and today we're here to discuss about one interesting and, in my opinion, very important MOS. It's 68 whiskey combat medic. That's why I want to introduce you guy who currently in the service and who, in my personal opinion, have very interesting knowledge, and he have special charisma. I like this guy. I saw many his videos on his channel. That's why I choose him to discuss about 68 whiskers. So please, buddy, can you explain who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Guys, I'm Ben Allen, also known as Sergeant Alvarado in the United States Army. I've been in for about almost 4 years. I'm a 68 whiskey combat medic. I chose this MOS because I knew it would have good civilian opportunities for whenever I transition out of the military, you know, such as getting jobs in EMS or, you know, furthering my medical future, if you would say. So that's primarily why I chose 68 whiskey. I also chose it because, you know, I want to help people. I love the medical aspect. I love the trauma aspect of the job. So it's just really cool. Just something I've always been interested in. So, you know, coming into the military, I chose that MOS. I thought it'd be a good fit for me, and turns out, you know, 3.5 years later, it is. I really enjoy the job, and I figured why not start this YouTube channel to help show y'all what it's about and just some of the benefits that you get, you know, from being a 68 whiskey and just being in the Army in general. So yeah, I'm also 22 years old. I joined when I was 18 years old, and I've been in the military ever since, so that's pretty much all I know. I'm also from Brownsville, Texas, or South Padre Island, Texas, for those of you that don't know where Brownsville, Texas is at. But yeah.
Okay. So, second question. Tell me please a little bit about AIT, about your education, what our 68 whiskey guys have, and explain what the most difficult part was in your AIT. What kind of troubles you had, or something like this, please.
So Medic AIT is at Fort Sam Houston, Texas, and pretty much it's a really good base. It's not that big, not that small, and AIT for 68 whiskeys is about 18 weeks, I believe, unless they've changed it from when I was in, but when I went through it was 18 weeks, and it's broken up into phases really. So the first phase is your EMT phase, and that's about 6 weeks, and pretty much you go through and you're taught by civilians, and they teach you like the basics of EMS, you know, emergency medical services and things like that. You take the NREMT, and once you get past that phase, you go on to the whiskey phase, which is more of the combat medic portion of the job. So actually like doing drags and carries, you know, care under fire, all of the things, tactical field care. It's really fun. And then after that, you have a 2-week field exercise at Camp Bullis, and pretty much you go through and apply all the things that you've learned from your time in the EMT phase and the combat medic whiskey phase as well. And I would say the hardest thing out of AIT is finding the time to study, because you're so busy going through the classes, going through this and that, right? And once you get home, you just want to like rest, you want to go to bed, you want to talk to your loved ones. But I highly encourage you to study. Take the time to study, because that will definitely set you apart. The NREMT, the National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians, is no joke. If you don't study, I promise you, like, it's not going to be a good time. So study, because for me, that was the hardest part about AIT, just finding the time to study and actually like dedicating that time to studying, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay, cool. And at the same time, it's a little bit private question, but maybe you can tell about this. Tell me please about college, what kind of college you can choose after Army with your experience like 6 to 8 whiskey, and probably you have already in your brain some specific colleges, and what kind of coverage you can get. So a little bit about education please.
Okay, and as far as colleges go that you can attend once you get out of the military, right, it just varies completely because, you know, some colleges are super friendly with the amount of credits that they'll give you for your military service, right, because you have a pretty much like a list of like all the certs you've ever done in the military, and some of those actually do transfer over to college credits. So some colleges will take a majority of those credits and apply them to your actual like degree plan, right? But as far as like military like colleges, you could go to pretty much anyone you want to go to, any college pretty much, because you know they know you have the GI Bill, they want you to attend their college, they want to give you an education, you know, they want your money as well, but in return they're giving you education. And pretty much like, you know, for example, like I would plan to attend to go to UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio, because it's close to where I live, it's close to my family, and they're really military friendly. And as far as like, you know, what colleges will look at your medical certs that you've gotten as a 68 whiskey, right? You know, a lot of them really like find those certs very helpful, right? Because if you're already certified as an EMTB, you know, they'll give you some credits for that certification, right? Because you went through an entire like civilian course, but in the Army. So they'll translate it over and give you some college credits. Probably not a lot, but they will give you some credits. I know because when I was applying, you know, they gave me a few for being certified as an EMTB. And then CPR does not really anything, but you do get some for the EMTB. So just most colleges are military friendly. Literally all you have to do to find out if they are or not is literally just call them, just call the counseling office, you know, talk to a counselor and be like, hey, how are you guys with like, you know, veterans and things like that? Like, are you guys super like military friendly or what? And then, you know, they'll let you know, and then they'll probably like just start counseling you if that's a college you planned on attending. So it's really, really good. Most colleges are military friendly. Most colleges love veterans, and you know, they know you have the GI Bill, so they're ready to help you at the drop of a hat. So that's something, you know, that you guys should look into. Just start planning ahead though. You definitely want to plan ahead, you know, because if you have like say 5 to 6 months left in the military, you definitely want to start planning like, oh, what college do I want to go to? Start setting up everything that you're going to need to attend that college pretty much.
So about GI Bill, so we already had a conversation about TA program, GI Bill. Tell me please, not too many people, everybody know like you can get college through the Army, but about moments. Can you get coverage for your living, like your BH in time when you're studying in the college? Can you, how much money is it? So it's covered like 70,000, 100,000, nobody know, because medical education, it's extremely expensive in the United States. So please tell me a little bit more details about GI Bill and what it means especially for you.
And I don't know it off the top of my head, but luckily I just attend a VA benefits class, which teaches you pretty much like everything that's available to you as a veteran, right? So I got the book right here that they gave us. This is like directly given to me from the Army, and so right here it says post 9/11 GI Bill, right? It says it is a post 9/11 GI Bill benefit is an educational benefit program for individuals who served on active duty and received an honorable discharge, right? So it has to be honorable. Benefits may be used for college, business, technical, or vocational schools, degree or certification programs, right? Apprenticeships and on-the-job training and correspondence courses. Remedial, refresher, and deficiency training are available under certain circumstances. So pretty much what this means is that you don't have to just use it for college. If you want to get like a certification or something like that, you can use it for that as well. If you want to go do an apprenticeship, you can use it for that as well. It does not just have to be for college, right? Like, so a lot of people get that confused. They think it's just for college, but it's not. You can use it for a lot of different certifications and stuff like that. And but there's a percentage breakdown, right? So in order to get 90% of it, you have to be in for 30 months total, right? To get 100% of it, you have to be in for at least 3 years, so 36 months, right? And then it just keeps going down from there. So like 80% is 24 months total, 70% is 18 months total, 60% is 12 months total. So pretty much you want to be in for over 3 years to get 100% of the GI Bill, right? That's definitely beneficial. If you're in for anything less than 3 years, it's not going to be 100%, so you won't get all of it, right? Another cool thing about the GI Bill is like, as long as you are attending school, right? So if you're going to school, they will give you the rate of an E5 for BAH. So you will still be getting paid, you know, to live. They'll give you money for an apartment. things of that nature. And I would highly recommend getting some roommates. That way you can keep some of that money as well. You don't have to spend all of it on rent and things like that. But the GI Bill does also cover housing while you are attending school, but only while you're attending school. If you stop going to school, then you won't be getting paid for that time that you were not in school. As long as you were taking one full length class, right? You just have to take one. You will be getting paid to live, so they will cover your cost of living. So I think that covers pretty much everything about the GI Bill. You know, that's how it works. You go to eBenefits, you set it up through there, be in more than 3 years to get full benefits, and they do cover your stay as well. So 100% GI Bill, it's really, really good. Please, 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 please use it when you get out. Do not let it go to waste, guys. But yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with this. And at the same time, you know, many guys thinking before army, even if they will go in the army, they can get this education, but what kind of level education you can get? Not too many people want to be just low level nurse or nutrition or something like this. Can you become a real doctor, so make a surgery assistant, so high level, and how your army military experience can help you for the future to get this target top level, please?
So I wouldn't say it helps you become a doctor, because you have to go to school for so much longer, you know, than just a 6-week class to get certified as an EMTB, right? But it definitely sets you up. It gives you a baseline knowledge of anatomy, physiology, you know, OBGYN, all of those basic EMT things that you can transfer over to your schooling once you start going to school. You know, you start you know, training to become a doctor, so you'd still have to go through all the school and things like that, but you'd be better off prepared for the future. So I wouldn't say it sets you up to be a doctor in the civilian world, but I would definitely say that it sets you up with that knowledge, that baseline knowledge, you know what I mean? Can you build a career as a doctor after the army? So like I just said, you can start to build a career, right? You can go to school and start getting your certs and start getting that learning. You have to do your internships and things like that to become a doctor. But it is the building blocks to help you become a doctor if that's what you plan to do, you know, with your experience in the military, you know what I mean? And then how do you see your future? So my future personally, I love the medical field, I love things like that, but I feel for me, that's just not the route I want to take. I definitely want to pursue more things on the channel. I want to give you all more content. I want to be able to provide, you know, the best service for incoming soldiers so they're better prepared for the military. I want to be an actor. I want to, you know, be in movies and TVs and TV and things like that. That's my dream. That's my passion. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to follow that to the fullest extent that I'm able to. So yeah.
Okay, everything sounds really good. I don't know about rest guys, but for me it sounds really, really interesting. And in the same time, let's talk a little bit about army part. So army, what kind of problems you can have? What do you think it will be better to change? And for you specifically, what you disagree maybe? And let's show for our guys what exactly they can get in time when they will enjoy it. So your personal opinion about this, please.
As far as what difficulties I've seen in the army, I would definitely say communication is one of the biggest ones, you know, because, you know, sometimes stuff doesn't get put out or it doesn't reach the lower levels. You know, it starts off at top, you know, comes down to the middle, and then, you know, for some reason it gets lost in translation, so there's a lot of confusion as to what's going on in the day-to-day. And just things of that nature, you know what I mean? Because if, you know, the lowest level doesn't know, then things are bound to get messed up, you know, because it's one functioning circle. Everything needs to come together, everything needs to work smoothly, and if, people are missing out on certain information, you know, then it's just going to throw a hammer in the wheel pretty much, and it's just going to clog everything up, and then things aren't going to run as efficiently as they need to. What problems have I encountered personally? Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've really experienced any problems. I think the biggest thing would just be the communication again. You know, I've personally fallen victim to the, you know, something didn't get told to me, or I didn't, or, you know, I haven't even told some of my guys some things every once in a while. So sometimes just the communication is, you know, probably the biggest thing, because it plays a big factor in the military and in the army. So I would definitely say I've experienced some communication issues as well.
Okay, thank you. And right now, next little bit tricky question, but it's very important for me personally and for many guys who are watching me, because probably like more than 50%, 65%, all my subscribers, they're originally immigrants from other different countries, specifically with the Russian language, and people who use Russian language like primary. And in the same time, so many guys, they're legally in the United States, they want to enjoy American army, they want to be part of this community, they ready go sacrifice for our country. So your personal opinion, if you want, don't tell me nothing, but at the same time, if you can, please answer it. What do you personally think about immigrants in the army? I agree, disagree, and how you feel about this?
Personally, I don't mind one way or the other. Like some of the hardest workers that have ever been in my platoon or that I've met in the military, have been from like Africa, Russia and like Mexico, things like that. And it's because they actually, like, they're here for a reason, you know what I mean? Like, they want to join the military, they want to serve the country, they want to be a part of something bigger, they want to be a part of our country, right? So, they usually work harder, they work, to the fullest extent of their abilities. So I've always found that, I've always respected them for that, and a lot of them have been like some of my best friends in the military, you know what I mean? And another thing I would say, like, the biggest drawback though is sometimes the communication, because sometimes their English isn't all that well, so it's a little harder to explain things. But eventually, after a couple of years or so, they get it. But I think overall, that's the biggest benefit is how hard they work, because they're willing to put in those extra hours. They're willing to be a part of the team and come together when needed to. And yeah, I would say the only drawback is just sometimes a language barrier, but sometimes that's not always the case. Some of them know English really, really well. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it's a really good thing that the Army does, allowing immigrants to come and serve in our military.
Okay, I really like our conversation, and I was right. I choose the right person to talk and discuss about this MLS. And again, 68 whiskey, it's very dangerous. It's not infantry guys, but in my personal opinion, to kill somebody, it's not that hard how to save someone's life. That's why I'm personally appreciate for everything what you guys doing. It's very important for every member in our army. And probably for the end, I'm pretty sure will be interesting for new guys who watching us and for guys watching us already a long time. Can you please tell something, maybe you can wish something for guys who planning going this way, who planning take this spot in your team probably, and for our future soldiers, tell something for them, because I can only wish, I can explain and tell about 15 folks about Army aviation, but about medical part, about 68 jobs, you have much more knowledge. So what kind of wish you have for future soldiers?
So I would definitely say make sure it's what you want to do, you know what I mean? You don't want to go into a job that you're not putting 100% of your effort into, because if you do that, then you're not going to want to learn, you're not going to want to train, and being a 68 whiskey is something that I'm really proud of, you know what I mean? Because, to be able to tell your friends, your family, that yeah, I'm a medic, I save lives, that's something really, really big. You're not only responsible for your life, but you're responsible for hundreds of other lives, and that's such a big deal. So I would definitely say number one piece of advice is go in there wholeheartedly, right? Go in there ready to learn, ready to study, ready to put in work, ready for long hours, long nights, things like that, because that's part of the job. And I would just say be ready for all of that, because if you're not, then you might not do as good as you think you are. So go in with the right mindset, because mindset plays pretty much the biggest role in anything you do, whether it's basic training, AIT, going on a rotation, going on a deployment, right? It's all about the mindset. So that's my number one tip for being a 68 whiskey. Make sure that's what you want to do.
Okay guys, I'm pretty sure it was very interesting conversation. I'm glad we discussed about this, because so many people want to become a doctor in the future, but not too many parents can afford it, and we specifically don't want to go and take huge loan without 100% understanding you will get this job. But Army experience and Army education system can give you this opportunity, and it's very important in my opinion. But believe me guys, I'm immigrant, Army soldier. I saw many lives what was broken because they choose wrong MOS. It's very highly important make right decision, because after when you will put signature in your contract, it's done. You don't will change nothing for a long time, and you can mentally and physically be in very bad position. So don't do this. Think multiple times before when you will choose your job. And today we had conversation about 68 whiskey. I like all MOSs on 68 whiskey specifically, very dangerous job. You need to think about this also. And thank you for being with us. I'm pretty sure you will subscribe those guy. I like his video, I like his sense of humor. He really and such a good guy. Thank you for watching us. If you one more thing, if you will have any question additional, please ask those questions. That's why we're here, that's where we make this conversation, this video. Ask those questions and we'll try and find right way how to explain you some details and answer on it. Sorry for my English again. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again.